Have you ever wondered why Taylor Swift's merch sucks so much? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why it sucks so much. I'm an apparel designer, so I'm qualified to do so, but I also have blessing from the Swifties to make this video before you come for me in the comments, and I also want better for you Swifties, okay? I want better for you. I'm on your side. What you need to know first and foremost is all of Taylor Swift's merch is done by this company, Bravado, who is owned by Universal Music Group, whom Taylor is signed to. They are doing every single artist who is signed to Universal Music Group's merch, but they're also doing other artists' merch who aren't even signed to them. They do a lot. They're a very, very big company. There is no like Taylor Swift merch company, okay? The merch company is Bravado. You can see here, they do Justin Bieber's merch, they do Avril Lavigne's merch, they do Aerosmith's merch, they do Ariana Grande's merch. They're pretty much doing everybody's merch. And they're based out of New York, like their headquarters where they have, designers, and they don't just do merch, they do like e-commerce stuff, they do retail, they do marketing, they do branding, like they're a whole agency and they're stationed in New York, but they have factories and companies they work with all over the world. Do I think Taylor Swift gets a sign off on her merch? Yes. Do I think she cares that much? No. But back to this graph, the whole reason I wanted to make this video is because this god-awful orange cardigan has been all over my For You page, and it's what triggered me to go down this rabbit hole of researching Taylor Swift's merch, and especially these cardigans. The whole cardigan saga started with this folklore cardigan that retailed at $49, and it was made with 50% acrylic, 50% polyester. It's pretty much one of the worst blends and fibers you can have on a sweater. They had two natural fibers they could have very easily used here, which are cotton and wool, but instead they did the acrylic to mimic wool and they did the polyester to mimic cotton. Why? Because they're much cheaper. But at the cost of what? Well, both of these are synthetic fibers. They're both plastic. They're both made, from oil, which is non-renewable. They shed microplastics when you wear them forever and ever. They'll never biodegrade. You can literally have them existing in the environment for hundreds of years. Producing them emits a lot of greenhouse gases, a lot of carbon emissions, and Bravado is not a company that is providing any kind of transparency within their manufacturing and how much carbon they're emitting. I would imagine it's an insane amount with all of this merch that they manage and produce. Now, something that absolutely fascinates me and brings me back to my statement about wanting better for you Swifties is how many videos I watch of diehard Swifties who collect these cardigans sharing like how unhappy they are with them. How the sizing is super inconsistent. They never really know what to expect even though they're ordering the same size with every drop. The materials are changing, which I'll get to in a second, and some people even mention that they don't ever wear the merch they buy, they just buy it as a collector's item. Back to the whole materials changing bit, I watched this video of this woman who owned a lot of cardigans sharing that once you got to the, what is this? I'm so sorry, Swifties. Speak Now? Yes, Speak Now. This is where the price went up to $70. The original folklore cardigan was $49, and then they had 3 more drops where the cardigan was $60, and then when they released this one, it was $70. And you had a little switch up here with the blend. Now the blend was 50% acrylic, 28% nylon, 20% PBT. So they, kept the acrylic. That was a choice. They upgraded, per se, to nylon. Nylon's a much more durable fiber than polyester. Still a synthetic, still all of those same, terrible qualities as polyester. It is a little bit more durable though, so I think they were trying to improve the quality of the sweater. They probably got a lot of feedback that the sweater wasn't retaining shape super well. I mean, both acrylic and polyester, like they hold onto a lot of odor. They're not great fibers, like in really any sense, other than they're cheap and they can mimic the hand feel of natural fibers. But okay. Upgraded to the nylon, and then they added this PBT here, which to really sum it up is basically like a stretchy polyester that people will put in something like a sweater to help it, the elasticity of like the garment as a whole, to retain its shape better over time. Still, yes, horrible synthetic fiber to produce. And unfortunately, I can't find the video now, but I did see a video where somebody mentioned that there's a couple of these cardigans that have come out post the Speak Now cardigan, which went back to that original 50% acrylic, 50% polyester content. And if you want my reasoning as to why they did that, it's for cost, you know. Number one, like a lot of the cost of those things can fluctuate. Again, they're working with a lot of factories. I don't know if they actually own any of these factories. From what I can see, no, but they're working with these factories to cost out all of these cardigans. They all have a variety of different costs based on, you know, the buttons and the number of patches and the yarn, all of it, just varying costs. So they could be going with different suppliers each time for strategic reasons, but there also could be reasons with the factory like not accepting an order. They could be at capacity. There could be too short of a turnaround time. There's a lot of reasons as to why the switch up could have happened, but I think it just goes to show that, like, again, they don't care about the quality. Like, they reverted back to a shittier quality. It all comes down to cost and how fast they can make the cardigans, because quality control is clearly not at the top of the list of priorities with the insane variety of shapes and sizes that you see from each drop. Now, I feel like the Swifties had a lot to say about this orange cardigan. A lot of people weren't super happy with it. This is where I'm going to make some subjective statements, and they could potentially hurt your feelings if you're a diehard Swiftie, but I'm sorry, it must be said. I do not view Taylor Swift as a style icon whatsoever. She is peak millennial to me, like in her mannerisms, in her humor, in her clothing, and I love millennials. I'm not coming from millennials. I'm just saying she gives stereotypical millennial to me in every single way, to be honest. So I view a lot of these as very millennial coded, and this is very millennial coded to me, but I can tell this cardigan has not sold anywhere near what they want it to, because for the first time since the very first cardigan, the folklore cardigan, unless I just couldn't find a picture, she actually did a promo in this one. The last time I could find her actually photographed in one of these cardigans was the very first cardigan. But then they just made that whole promo video of her wearing it, and what's so funny is I opened the comments to exactly what I expected to see, which was all of these Swifties going, okay, maybe I do like it, maybe it is cute, okay, I'm actually just gonna buy it because Taylor is wearing it. And oh my god, I wanted to rip my hair out. I don't know how many of these cardigans they're ordering at one time. It's definitely in the thousands, if not tens of thousands. And between the 50% acrylic, 50% polyester to 50% acrylic, 28% nylon, 22% PBT, you're talking landed max like a $10 cardigan at the low end to, on the higher end, $16. I would assume they come landed into the US. That's factoring the duty, shipping, everything. You are probably looking at, on average, a $12 to $13 cardigan in each of these. But this Swifties, this is the reason why you're never gonna get better merch. I've bought every cardigan. I'm a huge Swiftie. They are awful. I still buy them but never wear them. I just collect them. I saw this same comment hundreds of times. So how do you expect to get any better merch when you buy it? Like, you're giving them the feedback that you like it. So they're gonna keep making it. Okay, this video very quickly turned into me solely talking about the cardigans. I have a lot to say about, like, just the rest of her merch, how she is taking the cheapest route possible in so many ways with the fiber selection and the construction, etc. If you guys like this video and you want more, please let me know. If I end up just getting absolutely obliterated from this video, this is probably going to be the last one. But I do find Swiftie culture, and especially the Swiftie merch culture, super fascinating. So let me know what you think of this video.